This is the face of somebody who thinks it's okay to tie up a bull, grab his penis, rub it, and obtain the sperm.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
Alright guys, oh boy do I have a good one today. Because yet again, we have the vegan teacher acting like a complete lunatic. And trust me, the thumbnail is not clickbait. Because oh man, is this one not a good look. This is actually really bad. She has definitely gone too far once again. And I wouldn't be surprised if this video gets taken down. Because this time, she is just straight up targeting another YouTuber. And it's not just your typical drama targeting, because she's not even addressing any arguments he makes. She's actually just making crazy statements about him, slandering his name and face, and along with the things that she is actually saying, she also decides to put some out-of-pocket wild quotes on the screen too. And with that all said, I know what you may be thinking, right? Who in the actual hell could have made this woman this mad to where she just completely flew off the rails like a psychopath? And the absolute legend who managed to do this would be a YouTuber known as the Curl King, who is just another commentary YouTuber that released a video criticizing her for what she feeds her dog. And all it was titled was, "Is that vegan teacher's dog okay?" And the video didn't even contain anything out of pocket or crazy. But I truly believe that this was the catalyst that kicked off this whole shit show that we've got going on right now. So in response, she takes the only logical approach and releases a video titled "YouTuber Thinks He's a Baby Cow. Follow Vegan Gains Instead." And man, this video she released is a real piece of work. Because she decides to put just some absolutely despicable quotes up on the screen throughout the whole video. And these are pretty damn bad. And we're gonna go ahead and address like 2 or 3 of them before we actually play the video, because some of these are pretty damn serious and they are a direct attack on this man's character with no evidence or no proof for any of the statements. So to start, we have the first wild ass quote, where she decides to claim that this is the face of a coward who thinks sucking a mother cow to drink her baby's milk is normal. And there's about only one thing I can make from this. And that is, this crazy ass psycho is relating drinking milk from a glass of milk to going up to a cow, getting up down there, grabbing a titty and sucking on it. Like, it is genuinely insane. But that one's light work compared to this next one, where she goes ahead and decides to make this statement right here. And she claims that this abuser thinks it's okay to rape females and force them to be pregnant. Does he do this to his girlfriend too? What the fuck? Who does this? Who says shit like that? The line has already been crossed with this one quote right here. This is something that you just do not do. To go ahead and imply that my man is basically R-wording his girlfriend and getting her pregnant all because he likes to eat a fucking steak every now and then or drink some milk is absolutely ridiculous. You just can't be making statements like that, or implying things like that, I could say, since she goes ahead and makes it in question form to try and cover her ass. And the way she words it is to be clearly malicious, to go ahead and create some type of narrative around this guy that he is into that type of thing. But on top of both of those, she goes ahead and she also just has the word predator flash nonstop. And this garbage is all completely ridiculous, especially since she has the nerve to call someone else a predator when we have records of her in the past saying shit like this right here.
In a lollipop, the child would have had the same reaction. If this had been somebody's penis covered in sauce, the child would have had the same reaction.
So after seeing that, you tell me who you think the predator actually is. Because from what I can tell, this is just some next level projecting. And I just had to give these claims their own segment before we got into the video, because she's going to be spitting out so much bullshit that I wasn't going to have time to cover it. And they are important and they do need to be covered. But with all of that said, let's just go ahead and get into this absolute dumpster fire.
This is the face of somebody who thinks it's okay to tie up a bull, grab his penis, rub it, and obtain the sperm. This is the face of somebody who thinks it's okay to then tie up a female cow and force the sperm into her. This is the face of somebody who thinks that bestiality is okay, and the rape of innocent animals.
We're starting this off at a 10 out of 10 on the crazy bitch scale, because she opens up with talking about giving a bull a straight up hand job and then shoving the sperm into another cow, which is crazy on its own because it's so extremely dramatized and over exaggerated, just because of the way that she decided to word this and tried to make it sound just as crazy as possible to create shock. But I also don't even see this man promoting artificial insemination to begin with. And you'll notice a trend throughout this whole video where she is constantly saying what he thinks rather than listening to him or presenting any evidence that that is what he actually thinks. And it's pretty wild, because if this idiot would have actually listened to him and listened to the shit that he had to say, she would have known that he's lactose intolerant.
But the really, really funny thing is that she chose this angle for me in particular, because for one thing, I'm lactose intolerant. I don't even consume dairy products. Like, it's really funny because I'm not vegan. I'm not anything. I don't put myself a label on anything, but I do eat vegan a lot just because, like, well, I don't consume milk, so there's no cheese, there's no any of that crap in anything that I eat.
And there goes about 90% of the bullshit that she just spouts out during her video. And this is why it's so important that we actually listen to people that we're gonna go out of our way to try and critique. But this isn't even anywhere near where she decides to stop, because she then somehow makes the logical leap from artificial insemination to bestiality and the R word, and how he somehow thinks it's okay because she thinks that he drinks milk. And it's honestly just unhinged, because when you compare this with all of these different sayings she has posted up on the screen that she created, she really starts to paint him in an unjustified, false, and terrible light. Especially when you consider that she said if you encounter anyone who defends animal abuse, be warned. It starts with animals and often moves to humans. Report them to authorities. Which in her mind, you eating meat means you support animal abuse. So she's just gonna be out here reporting everyone to the authorities, I guess. And I just can't understand how she doesn't realize that this turns more people away from her cause than it could ever bring to it. Because her vegan ideology is just so damn radicalized that when she uses terms in just such a vulgar way, you just look like a crazy lunatic that no one wants to associate with. And on top of that, I can't even begin to imagine how a victim of a crime like the last one she just mentioned would feel about it, since you're putting what happened to them on the same level as a fucking cow. Like, what are we doing?
This is the face of a racist. Somebody who thinks it's okay to be kind to some animals and cruel to others. Some he thinks it's okay to pet. Others he thinks it's okay to stab. This is the face of somebody who thinks it's okay to separate a mother cow from her baby. This is the face of somebody who thinks it's okay to kill baby boys just because in the dairy industry they'll never grow up to be able to produce milk. He thinks that the fact that they are born in those bodies is crime enough for them to be murdered and turned into coats and jackets and boots.
And yeah, she just goes ahead and accuses him of being racist. And she's just saying this to align with the other crap that she's decided to put up on the screen, where she says racism equals speciesism, which equals discrimination and ultimately equals evil. So she's just painting him as this absolutely evil character. And it's all just a completely different level of insane, because again, the only reason she's even saying any of this about this man is because she thinks he drinks milk, which again, he's lactose intolerant. So he doesn't even do it. So if that's set aside, I guess she could try to say that he still eats meat or something. And I hate to break it to you, lady, but it's just part of the food chain for us to eat meat. We're omnivores for a reason. So it doesn't make the man racist because he eats meat every now and then. Like, we're just making leap in logic after leap in logic after leap in logic. Come on now. How are you even a teacher when this is your whole thought process?
This is the face of somebody who thinks he's a baby cow. He thinks that he needs to go underneath a cow and suck from her This is the face of an unstable person.
Did she just accuse my guy of sucking cow titty? Like, I know we were making the comparison, but I didn't think she was gonna actually say he wanted to climb under a cow and start sucking away. I cannot believe she just said that. And then she had the audacity to play the sound effects too. It's like every time I think she can't get any worse, she just somehow finds a way. Because she really said that he thinks he's a baby cow. So I guess she's staying true to the title, but come on, man. Like, what are we doing at this point? And the craziest part is, that's just where she decides to end it. So yet again, there wasn't a single piece of evidence placed for anything. These were just outrageous claims to paint him as evil. And I did notice one big thing. I believe she made a pretty big editing mistake, because she had the wrong picture up when she said a certain line. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that real quick.
This is the face of an unstable person.
But yeah, with all jokes aside, this is just completely unacceptable. You just can't be making claims like this about someone and not even showing them supporting the things that you're making claims about. And overall, it is very much so borderline slander, because you're using words like predator in a very specific way to paint this guy in an image that he's not. And you're phrasing things to make him look like he's actually committing crimes against people, when really you're just talking about the guy eating a steak or drinking some milk. And I wasn't just gonna sit here and stand by while you tried to destroy someone's good name. So I just had to make a video on it and call her out. But with all that said, I've had enough of her bullshit, and I'm out. Watching the vegan teacher state that she's looking at the face of evil, and peace.